Miami broke up with spring break.
Oh, they sure did.
I think I have the audio here. Let me see. Because yeah, spring break, Miami looking for a hoochie daddy. You
Yep.
know, damn, I could have swore we had it saved.
Sometimes things go too far.
And that's why you got to break up.
Yep.
It's not us. It's you. We just want different things. You have a good time? It's relaxing on the beach. Hitting at the spa. Or checking out a new restaurant. You just want to get drunk in public and ignore laws. Do you even remember what happened last March? That was a breaking point. So, we're breaking up with you. And don't try to apologize and come crawling back. This isn't safe. So, we're done. Just so you know, we're serious. This March, you can expect things like curfews, bag checks, and restricted beach access. DUI checkpoints, $100 parking, and strong police enforcement for drug possession and violence. Whatever it takes, because it's time to move on. Maybe we can talk when you're done with your spring break phase, but until then.
Until then.
They said come back when you're a full adult. Okay.
Right.
Until then, we don't want nothing to do with what you got going on.
Word. They said stop effing up Miami.
I hear that. I hear
Word.
that. Spring break, that's wild times.
Yep.
That is wild times. Okay. Those spring breakers,
They break stuff.
they be sloppy drunk, falling all over
Sloppy
the
drunk.
place, throwing up all over the streets, and all kinds of things like that. Getting into all kinds of things that they got no business getting into. Most
Right.
of them are underage, and they're drinking alcohol, and they're doing all these things, and I don't
Talk to
blame
him,
them.
Grandma.
Yep. And you know what? Listen, okay, I'm cool, Grandma, and the reason
I don't think you're allowed to say you're cool, Grandma. I think someone else has to say you're cool, Grandma.
no, I'm gonna tell you why, because I had my spring break phase, which I was not throwing up on the streets, but and I never got that drunk, but I had my spring break days. I totally understand, like, the excitement. You get a little freedom in the middle of the year, and it's like for some kids, I'm sure it's probably one of the first times that they get to travel with their friends. Not all kids. I know some of them probably been doing this for a long time already, but for some kids, it's like, woo, freedom. Like, we can go and hang out with our friends, and we can drink, and we can do this and this and this and that. And it's like college, but like vacation. So I get it. I get the urge to have that good time, and like, leave your inhibitions at the door, and you just want to let loose, and you're about to come back and you have to get ready for finals and all kinds of things like that. The year is coming to a close for college students. By the time they get back, they only have a couple months before the school year is over. So I get it, I understand, but also don't ruin people's cities. Just don't do it.
Right.
If you can't be on your best behavior, then, and not even your best behavior, but why do you have
Just
to be on
behavior.
your, right? I was just about to say, but why do you have to be on your worst?
Because Drake told us to.
Worst. Motherfucker never lied us.
See? Exactly.
Remember?
Right.
Motherfucker. What do you think about this?
I'm going to be honest. When I first heard about this commercial, I was like, all right, come on. Yeah, for real. I'm going to give you props on International Women's Day. You sent it and was like, we got to talk about this. I was like, but why? This is ridiculous that this even exists. But props to you, because you were right. We got to talk about it. It's been a hot topic everywhere. People are mixed feelings. There's mixed reviews on the commercial. Some people feel like this is ridiculous. Y'all need to get a better hold of the spring break situation. And there's a whole other side that's like, no, yeah, y'all been messing up our city. Y'all been messing up the tourism who wants to go to Miami. and y'all got to stop. And so I said, oh, look at that conflict in the streets. Conflict, you say? Okay. I like to sit and watch some conflict sometimes.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I've been seeing a lot of mixed reviews on a lot of mixed feedback, not reviews. It's not a movie, but a lot of mixed feedback on this topic. Some people feel like, yeah, y'all have been coming and destroying our city, and we don't want y'all.
Yeah.
And I totally understand the tourism side of things, where we want tourism dollars, but we're actually not getting it because y'all are coming and destroying things and costing us so much money in damages and causing all these other problems. And so I see that side too. I think it's interesting. I do think, yes, party hard, fight for your right to party, all of that. But also, like, act like you got a little bit of behavior up in you.
Act like somebody. Well, no, I shouldn't
Act
say
like you
that.
got
But
just a piece of home training.
right, it's just.
Perhaps I'm disconnected to this topic because I didn't do college on this level. I didn't finish college. I didn't spring break. So maybe for
I
me this is like, who cares? But for a lot of people, spring break, like you said, it's a big deal. And they want to be able to go and let loose and do all the illegal things and all the illegal substances.
yeah.
Miami says, hey, you can take that shit somewhere else.
First of all, if you're under the age of 21, you really have no business going to Miami for spring break. I know that it's a common thing. It's easy to get to.
See, you was just the cool grandma. You about to lose all of your coolness.
Well, that's fine.
Mhm.
I'm not. I'm not trying to put on for the kids. I am who I am, multi-layered. So no, because the reason I say that is because it is considered underage drinking. You
Of course.
also clearly don't know how to handle your liquor because of all these things that have been happening the last couple of years. It's probably easier and probably a lot more fun to go somewhere where the drinking age is 18, just because then,
Does that exist?
yep, when you leave the country,
Oh, never mind.
not in the
I was
US,
gonna look
but
up what states.
oh no, when you leave the US, like if you go to Mexico, the drinking age is 18. So have at it.
Got
I'm not saying to be
Cancun.
right. I'm not saying to behave that way, but I'm saying have at it. And I also, you bring up the tourism thing, and it's true. I know I'm someone, I like to travel. March is always like a good time to March is always the time of year where I kind of get an itch to travel because we've had all the beginning of the year holidays pass at this point. There's no holiday until Memorial Day, so like no uh
So
company
you're not
days
you're not
off.
oh, I was about to say you dissing the luck of the Irish?
No, there's no federal holidays until May.
Got it.
So it's on you to take a vacation or whatever it is you want to do, take a day off or whatnot. But you kind of get into this weird, like, in between area where it's like, man, there's no day off until the end of May. That's a long time. So I feel like I'm someone who, somewhere around March, I'm like, man, I wish I could go and like travel for a weekend or something like that. But what I've learned over the years is what I don't want to do is travel in March and the beginning of April. And the reason why is because I want nothing to do with the spring breakers.
And there you go, folks. Words from your cool grandma.
Like we're not hanging out, but I want nothing to do with the spring breakers just because, again, it is a very different crowd. And I feel like they should have their good time. It's a very different crowd. Also, traveling this month, next month, you're probably going to run into a lot of families too, depending on what you're trying to do. There will just be a lot of kids around. There'll be big kids, there'll be little kids. That's kind of how travel is in March and April because it's everybody's spring break is kind of staggered between those 2 months. So I do think, but what I will say is I'd rather see the families with their smaller children than see a 19-year-old who can't hold their liquor and shouldn't be drinking in the first place, yelling, belligerent on the streets. Like I said, vomit. The thing that always gets me is seeing vomit on the streets. Things like that. It's just gross, and I guess I'm not the cool grandma. I guess I'm just the grandma, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. I meant to say I'm the grandma who used to be cool, I guess is what I was trying to say, because
And that is different.
that is very different. Oh yeah, because grandma stays home now. I'm going on vacation and that. Grandma also spiked her drink today, but
We know.
which I never do.
We know.
But well, no, you don't know, because I don't drink on the pod. I don't ever drink.
Hold your drink up to the camera.
Even when I use my wine glass, it's usually a non-alcoholic drink. It's not.
Hold your drink up to the camera. This way. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. What's that look like?
What does it look like to you?
Like an adult beverage.
You know what it is?
And it's Friday.
It's my 0-calorie grapefruit soda. Because
you threw a little something in there?
And I, in a little, I covered the label, but a little tequila. I said, you know what? It's Friday. It's Friday, and it's been a long friggin' week. So they got to get it together. That's the long and the short of it. You got to get it together.
And like, you don't need to get blackout drunk.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I know.
I'm in agreement.
It gets to a point where you're not even having a good time anymore. You're just like in a fog. If you're even awake,
just waking up somewhere like, whose couch is this?
Right, and
I don't even remember a couch. How did I get inside?
That's so dangerous.
Where are my shoes?
Right. I've never been into that. I've never been into getting so drunk that I don't remember or I don't know it. And don't get me wrong, I've gotten drunk. I lived my 20s. I went away to college, all of that. I'm not saying that I never got drunk or I never had a day where I'm like, I think I had too many. But that on another level, like drinking to get drunk, like line up the shots for me and let me drink them type of thing.
That's some people's style. Some people go out with the mission of, I'm gonna just get blackout drunk. I never really understood that.
I've never understood it.
In fact, the 2 times I got blackout drunk and like passed out or did some shit I don't remember, I deeply regret them, and I didn't plan on doing that.
Right.
Like I didn't go out and was like, I'm gonna get sloshed. I just was wilding out, and then next thing I knew, I was like, hey, whose couch is this?
Right. Yeah.
How'd I get here? I remember being in a cab, but that's it.
Yeah. No, I listen. I think that, part of growing pains is that we've all been there, like, again, where we've maybe had 1 too many, 2 too many, or whatever.
10 too many.
Right. But
you gotta open your eyes big. Is it 10 too many?
But that doesn't mean like
looking like Joe Rogan when he interviewed Cat Williams. All right, that's it.
But listen. But they're also young, and for what it's worth, don't really know much better. They're just like, "Ooh, this is fun. Let's do this," or "Ooh, this is forbidden. Like, so we got to do it." And
right,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
but Miami's fed up.
Miami's fed and should be.
They said $100 parking, fines, arresting people. They're not playing.
And Miami's already popping. Like, it doesn't have to be spring break for Miami to be.
Well, that's why they're upset, because they feel like y'all are messing up what we already have going on, because y'all want to come here and just destroy stuff.
Right. Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, the first time I went to Miami, I was 20. I think I was 21, actually. So it was like a chill, it was a little bit more, but.
You was at La Marinas all summer.
All right. What else we got?
Shout out to Fab.